Hi everybody, it is time for me to check in with my February goals, get my March goals set up, and I was going to say set my March calendar up, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to do that this month. So we'll start with the calendar, I guess. I was hoping to use it for tracking this past month. Obviously, I am in this area right here. I did not use it past the first week. Mostly because almost all of this information is recorded elsewhere. All of the dialysis information is recorded on my daily log. You'll see later this week I'm doing a tour of my dialysis room, and there's a picture of the log. It's not something I came up with. It's something that the hospital gives us. That's all on there. Things like pulling labs, checking supplies and all of that. We have that on a calendar in both Google Calendar and a calendar in the dialysis room. So this seemed kind of useless, so I just didn't bother. The only thing I really thought might be the most important was the blood pressure. However, I don't check it every single night when I take my meds. I check it on the nights where I obviously am feeling a little bit extra low blood pressure, extra high blood pressure. So honestly, I don't know what I'm going to do with my calendar. I don't think I'm doing anything with it for March because I just want to get through this quarter's worth of collecting information. But I think maybe starting in April, now that I'm starting to get the energy to get back on the Peloton again, I'm thinking maybe I could use this to track movement or maybe put pictures from every single day of me moving or whatever. But that is, time will tell. In the meantime, I'm just going to give myself the fucking break and not mess with it. So no March calendar this month. Go me for making a choice. As for my February goals, I'm still in the middle of the last full week of February, so there's a lot of stuff that hasn't happened yet that might happen as per usual. But I am not going to give myself any shit for not finishing any of this month. We brought dialysis home, and while it has been going pretty well, we are still really working out how much fluid to take off of me. It's one of the side effects of dialysis is that you remove fluid because once you stop peeing as much, that's the only way to really remove it. Problem is you remove too much fluid, it dehydrates you. It makes you what we call dry, and it can send me into a migraine. I have had 3 migraines in the past 2 weeks, so we are still working on it. I'm not going to be feeling too guilty about it. Maybe I'll feel a little bit guilty. I don't know. But I just want to go through what's going on here and let you know kind of where I'm at making progress. So, personal focus, bring dialysis home. First is to start establishing the dialysis routine and checking in with Jessie. That's been going great. As a matter of fact, we just have the check-ins while I'm on dialysis, as long as we're respecting the rule that we cannot get into arguments while I'm on dialysis because I am way too vulnerable to get into arguments. For makselife stuff, the weeklies have been going great. I did it every single week so far this month. I only have 1 more week left to do it in the month of full week for the month of February. Whether or not I stuck with my whole routine you can see there's these gaps in my weeks. It's because of migraine. I don't even have an actual full weekly reflection left. It's going to be into March, but it's for this week that we're currently in. So I'm feeling good about that. Same with makselife monthly. I haven't done it yet, but I'm planning to do it next week on the 28th. As for daily, I have not been as good checking every day, again, due to migraines, but that's fucking life, right? I'm not going to guilt myself over not checking my fucking planner. As for continuing, I've been staying on top of my plants. My plants are actually doing fairly well right now. I'm feeling pretty good about it, even with as dry as it's been. As for one little word, I meant to do it last week. I have the pictures. They're all printed out, but I was derailed by migraine, and so I'm going to just get that done this week. Feeling okay about personal. It's going, right? Everything that hasn't happened yet with personal, for the most part, I know exactly why it hasn't happened, and I know we are working on fixing it, but I can't guarantee it's not going to keep happening until we finish fixing it. I have a clinic visit next week. Hopefully they'll give us some advice. For fun and recreation, the focus was to spend time together outside of dialysis, and I feel really good about this, actually. I think some of this comes to having some more energy. Even with the migraines and everything else, on the days I'm feeling good, I'm feeling pretty damn good. So there are plenty of days where I am reminded I am still in kidney failure, but my good days, there's definitely more of them than there were 6 months ago. For Fridays and Saturdays off of work, I have done that every single week. This last week, technically, I did not do that. Because of migraines, I wound up working on Friday, but I took Monday off. So I still had a 3-day weekend, which is what I wanted, and I still had the 2 days off in a row, Saturday adjacent. So I'm counting it. And then, like I said, 3-day weekend, and I've had 2 days on the trail with Jessie, and that has been a lot of fun. So sweet. Although I 10 out of 10 do not recommend wearing ballet flats on a trail walk when there's still ice on the ground. I did not change my shoes and I regretted it. Didn't fall down, at least. Work and learning. Add creativity and art time back each week. So painting sessions, I have gotten those in every single week. That has been awesome. Next month, I'm definitely going to be thinking about increasing that to more than once per week. As for the course I'm working on, I didn't even finish one of these modules. I have done some of it, but I just, again, with the migraine, I just haven't felt up to, like, doing a painting session per week. Sure, that's worked out, but doing any of these, I've just been so headachy that it hasn't been something that I've really been able to do. So we'll see how that goes. As for HB90, again, I've been keeping up with it. And like I said with the weekly, did I say with the weekly or not? I can't remember. I had to start this video over because my microphone wasn't on, but I've been doing my weekly check-ins for both makselife and HB90 while I'm in the dialysis chair on Sundays. And it's been working out great. The only real issue is it's kind of hard to read what I wrote because I can't even balance the planner. I'm very one-handed when I'm on dialysis. But I haven't done monthly yet. Again, that's Monday or Tuesday. The day you're seeing this video, as a matter of fact, I should be doing those monthly check-ins. For family and relationships with one-on-one time, it's kind of a mixed bag. On the one side, I've had more than 2 dates with Jesse, which has been great. And I did do lunch with Sunny and did do lunch with RJ, both of which were great, especially with RJ. Not that it wasn't fun with Sunny. It was great with both of them. With RJ, he and I have been lusting to try Scotch eggs for over a year now. And we found a tavern that does them really well here in the Denver area. And we went to lunch and we ate Scotch eggs and we were so happy. Oh, it was so worth it. But I have not called my sisters as much as I would have wanted to. And I did not manage to have lunch or coffee with my friend. Although part of that's because she's been prepping for Go Wild. So I did have more time with Sunny than I expected to. So it kind of balanced out. As for health and wellness, bringing dialysis home. This was the big one this month, right? Like, no lie. Like I said, it's been going well. It's had its ups and downs, but overall, Jess and I are immensely satisfied by the choice to do home hemo. He and I are really settling into my dialysis room. Like I said, that tour is coming out later this week. It's just felt good to be at home doing it. So graduate from training, did that, follow through on tracking. I checked it off and then I was like, what the fuck am I checking this off for? So whatever. Meal plan weekly, done it every single week except for this week. Therapy weekly, it actually has been more like every other week just because both of our schedules. That's been working out. And then as for my habits, aside from the tracking, everything else has been going pretty well, especially since we've had a pretty good run of nice weather. As I'm filming this, it is balls cold, but getting outside generally has not been that big of a deal. It's been pretty easy. I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow, though. It's going to be below 0. No, thank you. Definitely not a smooth transition, but it is as smooth as I think we could expect it to be. Spiritual and personal growth. Visit First UU, I said I was going to do on the 19th, and it just so happened that was one of the days I was fucked from post-dialysis fuckery. So that was a bad day all around, too. Like, I was having a rough day with, like, dialysis and with everything else. But at the same time, I felt like a bummer. But Sunny and I decided that not only will I go, but they're going to go with me. So even though I didn't go, I made progress in the sense that I convinced my kid to come with me, even though Jesse and RJ don't really feel like it. So I guess that's a win, right? And then financial follow-through on budgeting. The no-buy is going beautifully. The rest of it, including taxes. I mean, a lot of tax paperwork has come in, but I haven't really gathered it yet. So this one, and I don't think this is going to happen before the end of the month, but it's okay. We're going to just move on. I've been distracted with other things this month. As for physical environment, set up and use the dialysis room. That's gone great. We got the supplies put away. We even have a shelf down here now for them. There's a lot of them. My guy. My goodness. Machines are set up. Jesse's workspace. We got him a standing desk. It's looking really good. The TV situation is the only thing we haven't gotten taken care of yet because we're not sure what we want to do yet. So I don't feel bad about that. And the one thing I didn't put on here because I thought it was going to be finished in January and it wasn't, our wall sink. Like our wall, it's like kind of not really a sink. It's more similar to like what you would put behind a washing machine with like access to hot water, cold water, and a drain. But that's in the wall now. That's done. So woohoo! It's pretty much done. There's a couple of tiny things to tweak. As for these, we did hang the front room art, and on top of that, I didn't check it off on the yearly because I still want to put some family pictures up there, but I am going to check off the front room. That's done for art on walls. But the dining room still needs like some family photos, but we did find a piece of wall art for in there that I was really excited about, and Jessie got that hung as well. Bedroom print, still not hung, but we have the frame out, and I am so, like, I think it's going to happen this weekend. I'm going to make it happen this weekend, God damn it. So other than that, like I said, a lot got done this week. I think I maybe wanted a little bit more out of it than I expected, but I also didn't know how dialysis was going to go. Now that I have a better idea of that, I'm wondering if that will help me make some more accurate goals for March. So like I said, the March calendar, we're just going to say fuck it for this month. This is my permission for you as well. If you have trouble leaving pages blank, just fuck it. All right? Let's take a look at some March goals. And in the spirit of using my shit, I'm going to use just a Le Pen for this. For my personal focus for the month, I want to settle into some of my new routines. We've kind of begun to form them in February, and I'd like to kind of settle into them in March, kind of see what works. There's a handful of them here. One is the AM routine, which is not like a super regimented AM routine, but there is kind of a rhythm to it that needs to be followed, especially on dialysis days, to make sure that we get on the machine on time so that I'm not pushing dialysis a lot like longer into the day. And then non-dialysis days feel a little bit weirder, and we're still not really sure about our rhythm there. So that's something I really want to focus on. And I highlighted it because it's going to be on my habits for this month, is the AM routine. Also, grocery and meal planning routines. Again, I think Wednesdays are my shopping day, which makes Tuesdays my meal planning day, but I really want to I want to settle into that. makselife stuff. This hopefully will be the last month I put this on my monthly goals. By the end of this month, hopefully it'll be really settled in, but daily, weekly, monthly, and then my plants every other day. I didn't put one little word on here because I don't really need to. I know I need to do it, so there is that. But this is kind of what I'm looking at for personal. For fun and recreation, I put to continue to prioritize non-dialysis time. The first thing I put is new day off, quote, policy. I put quotes because it's my fucking policy, because it's my working for myself. But one of the things I noticed in February, at least, was it was really hard for me to keep to Fridays, Saturdays off, specifically Fridays off, because there were at least one other day almost every single week that I needed to take off because I was feeling sickly, and I only have so much time to work. So I don't know if it needs to be Saturday and a floating day off or what. I put new day off, 2 times days off, and then I just gave myself 4 boxes to check off if I take 2 days off of work in the week. Ideally, I want them to be together, but right now I don't know how feasible that is while we're still kind of figuring dialysis out, and I don't want to hold myself to this specific idea of Fridays and Saturdays off if it's really going to be better for my stress levels to get some work done on Friday. So I'm not sure yet. This is kind of a vague idea of 2 days off during the week. Hopefully one of them being Saturday, because that day we don't do dialysis. A 3-day weekend, which we already have planned out, and then 2 days on the trail with Jess and Layla. I'm keeping it as 2 right now because that gives me a little extra breathing room if I have a really bad time. For work and learning, I want to finish the course I'm working on. There's a lot to finish, so I'm going to actually make that a daily habit to do a little bit every single day. And then for HB90, the usual weekly and monthly, but also this month is going to be the boot camp, and so I am going to do that as well to set up for quarter 2. So that's kind of pretty straightforward this month for work and learning. Also, I'm going to go back and add visit museum to fun and recreation because I do want to do that quarterly, and I have not had the chance up until now. So I'm just going to add that in at this moment. Anyway. Moving forward, for family and relationships, my focus is planning ahead because Jessie and I want to get our 10-year anniversary weekend scheduled sometime this summer. We know when, what we want to do. We just need to get it scheduled. But I've got all my date nights and lunches with Jessie, with Sunny, RJ, and with a friend. Calling my sisters is on here. And then we want to have some friends over quarterly, and we still need to do that. So that's definitely having somebody over for dinner would be great. Scheduling our 10-year weekend, like I said, and then RJ's birthday dinner will be at the beginning of the month because my boy is turning 17. Jesus. Our health and wellness focus is to settle into dialysis. So my 2 kind of big things to accomplish this month are to refine our dialysis schedule. We know what days we want to do it, but really getting the times and everything locked in is something I want to get done in March. And then to figure out transplant blood draws. We're supposed to be able to take my monthly transplant center labs at the same time, but we just don't know yet how to do that. So that's just something to figure out. As for habits, I only have 2 on here because the AM routine from personal is going to include my wake up time. So there is that. And I said I was kicking tracking off of the list this month. So it's just going outside and drinking my water. I didn't put bedtime on here either. That really is not something I need to focus too much on because I'm usually wiped by the end of the day. And then I have 2 things on here that I'm adding. Peloton once a week. Ideally once or twice a week, but once a week is all I can really expect out of myself. But I'm having fun now. And it's now that I'm getting some energy back, that's exciting. And then therapy 2 times in the month of March because we're currently on an every other week schedule. So we're kind of carrying over my spiritual and personal growth goal from last month to attend once, but this time I added Sunny to it because Sunny's going to go with me. However, we don't know what day yet because currently my 3-day weekend is going to be when they are out of town to see their dad. So we got to figure out a different day. But that's part of it. That'll definitely be something I have to break down over the week and like pick a week and be like, okay, let's figure this shit out. Financial, much like church, looks very similar. No buy, monthly meeting, monthly budget, but also collect tax paperwork and just get the taxes filed before April. That would be fucking nice. That's my financial goal. It's every time we get closer to taxes, every year, you go back all the years on my channel, you'll start to hear me grouching. I fucking hate, it's not that I mind paying taxes, whatever. I recognize it's part of being in a society. It's the fucking process. Why does it have to be so goddamn difficult? For my physical environment goal, a lot of my yearly goals are either stuff that really is outdoor focused or wall art. And so outdoor focused really isn't going to happen in March because in where we live, it's going to be full winter. We can't really even start to plant until May. What I would love to do is get my gallery wall hung fucking finally. And so I broke it down here. I have some fuckery flowers that I still need to frame. I have the frames already. I just need to frame the prints. We need to pick out which family pictures we want to put up there as well. We already have some framed from the old house, but we want to add more and get those framed and then lay it out so we know how we're going to hang because it's going to be all the way up my stairs and then get it hung. And then 2 other small tasks I want to just get taken care of in the front room is to decide on a couple of family pictures to frame and put on this front table we have and get a plant hook installed so we can hang another plant by our front windows to kind of give some symmetry to the room. So that is my physical. We'll see if it works. If I've broken down here, maybe it'll work. Anyway, these are my goals for March. Again, it's very focused on dialysis and there's a lot on here. So who knows if I'm actually going to get through all of it. But I am just happy that the transition home has happened. I have my first clinic visit in another week, and then I will start to really settle in. And that's what I want March to be about, settling in with work and with home, so that then when I go into April, we can start moving forward once we've kind of settled in. That's the hope. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below, something you have coming up in March that you're excited about. Let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, friends, peace.